Welcome back to the county seat. We are discussing today mineralogical development, in particular the development of potash, which lies at the bottom of the Sevier dry lake bed in Millard County. Now, this is a big reserve, as you found from the story, and we want to focus on the economic impact and some of the challenges of moving a project like this forward. Joining us today are Millard County Commissioner Bart Whatcott, Steve Styler, who is local counsel for Peak Mineral, and Lance D'Ambrosio, who is the CEO of Peak Mineral. Thank you all for joining us here today. I guess I want to start with the fact that this has been a while in development. How long ago did you guys start with the concept of developing this lake?
We initiated the concept about 4 years ago in late 2007. And the project had historical roots that date back to the 70s from an initial discovery and some initial drilling work. And my business partner, Jeff Gentry, had been affiliated with the project as a college student at the University of Utah. And unfortunately, the original conceiver of the project, Murray Godbey, had passed away after spending 14 years of development activities back in the 80s and the early 90s. And the project went dormant. And about the middle of 2007, Jeff brought the idea to me, and Jeff and I had gone to the University of Utah together, and he's the geologist and the engineer. I looked at it and I said, potash. And then I looked at the opportunity from the standpoint of the methodology and the process that we'll be able to talk about, and just the economic opportunity, as well as then the benefit of being able to, support the growth of fruits and vegetables and actually feeding the planet as a possible project. I was excited about it.
I think what I want to point next is that, it never seems to fail when somebody looks at a project that extracts minerals, no matter how minimal the impact is. There are always flags thrown up on it, and apparently, and we invited the Southern Utah Wilderness Alliance, who challenged this not once but twice, to come speak today, but they did not choose to join us for this debate. So I'll try and cover their point of view. They challenged that there was a wilderness potential, basically, to this area, and that it shouldn't be developed. What was your response to that?
Well, several things. First, from a historical perspective, there had been a lot of human activity on or around the lake. There had been over 700 previous drill holes. There is a 5-mile canal that was put into the lake surface via the predecessor and his group, Murray Godbey. There's 3,000 acres of solar ponds that exist on the project prior to our development activity. There was a road built actually to the project from the state highway back in the 80s and 90s. And you look at that playa that's out there and what is the best and highest use for it. So from a standpoint of what we're going to do to it to actually extract potash and then deliver that again, as a support for farmers to grow crops and then ultimately feed people, we felt that the response was, what is the best and highest use, and really what is the impact?
Then all of a sudden water became an issue, and that came back on the table, but even the county was interested in being involved in the water issues. Explain that part of it, Bart.
Well, at one time we did protest the water, but protesting it also let the county come to the table and be an active person in the water issue. If we wouldn't have protested it, then we wouldn't have had a seat at the table. So by protesting, it gave us a seat at the table to talk about the whole project, and it let us in on some things that might not have been put out to us had we not been a protestant. So Millard County's always been supportive of the project, but in order to get at the table, we needed to protest the water so we could then discuss that with them.
The county's never been opposed to it. They protested just to make sure that everything was on the up and up as far as involvement. I guess water is a big resource to everybody involved in this project.
Water's important in our state, in our county, very important.
So with a protest to water, I mean, does this put a lot of strain on the legal relationship, Steve?
Well, as Commissioner Whatcott mentioned, basically whenever any project comes into the area and water is required, everyone's sensors go on high alert because water is so valuable to the area. Now, as far as the legal relationship, we're obviously considering every alternative that we can do and try to mitigate any impacts that might be felt by the community or by any other water users, and doing our best to be a good citizen as far as the project, and working with those people and making sure that we do everything the right way and try to help this project come forward. And again, not to cause fights, but to try to work with those that are there and make sure we find a good solution for everyone.
A lot of people go, okay, a potash plant. Somebody might vaguely say, all right, Great Salt Lake Mineral pulls potash out of the Great Salt Lake. What's the value of it? Is it a good grade quality that you're looking at? Is there something that you bring to the table with the project that you don't see otherwise?
Well, speaking of the Great Salt Lake, Chad, first of all, the type of potash that is produced off the Great Salt Lake is unique in terms of how they produce it. It's produced in what we would call a natural environment and a natural methodology, and it is the form of potash that's most rare to find on Earth. It's called sulfate of potash, or K2SO4. There's only 3 places in the world today that currently produce it in this natural brine environment: the Great Salt Lake, the Atacama through SQM in Chile, and then a project in China via Luabupo. So our project would be the 4th of such opportunities. So when you can produce it naturally and not create any really residual environmental impact with toxic byproducts and such, the end result is that you're providing something then to the farmer that is as friendly for him to use and as friendly for us to extract from Mother Earth as you can do anywhere in the world.
What do you see for the county as far as this, the number of jobs and the spin-off jobs it brings to the table?
Millard County, we welcome the new growth. Anytime we can put new jobs in our communities, it helps impact a lot of folks. There's a huge ripple effect. Besides just the mining operation, the operation you get from people hired because they're servicing trucks. They're the store owners. They're the people that are selling the pipe fittings, whatever, at the local hardware store. So it's not just the job itself, it's the ripple effect that really makes us, really get involved and very excited about the process. Right now, we're hoping to pull out of a slump. We've been in such a state of disarray with our job market, and especially in Millard County. But we can see some new growth coming, a new tax base, and overall a benefit to all the county residents there in Millard. We're trying to put together a couple of new schools, and we can see some revenue in the future that will help us, pay back the issues that are in front of us. And so we can see this as a win-win for everybody. And so we are, fully behind this project to make sure it's as successful as it possibly can be.
Excellent. We've got a few more questions to go to, a couple of the topics to discuss. We've got to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with you here on the County Seat in just a minute.
What are the words that describe the perfect destination? Come celebrate the Retreat of Winter, February 24th and 25th, with the annual Congregation of Lesser Snow Geese. Each February, thousands of these beautiful white birds use the fields and waters as a stop in their northern migration. Find out what you've been searching for.
How would you spend an extra day in Utah Valley? Stay one more day. Visit utahvalley.com to make reservations. Utah Valley. Bring everyone together.
Native Americans called it the land of the sleeping rainbow. It's a place of unparalleled enchantment, where history, splendor, and industry meet. We call it Sevier County. Experience the Paiute Trail by ATV. Explore 7 national parks, all within a few hours' drive. Gaze down at the world from an entirely new perspective. Join us in Sevier County and discover real Utah. Come, explore the Paiute Trail and beyond.
In order for there to be adventure, there must first be a land that offers it. In order for there to be discovery, there must first be something undiscovered. It's time you discovered northeastern Utah's dinosaur lands, the trails, water, beauty, and history that have been 65 million years in the making. Take your journey to a destination where adventure is only limited by your imagination. Join us in Uinta County, Undiscovered Utah.